In this video, I'm going to talk about something known as aerophagia. Aerophagia is when you swallow an awful lot of air. It typically happens with one of these known as a CPAP device. CPAP is great for things like obstructive sleep apnea. It keeps your airway open. But sometimes one of the complications is that it pumps air into your lungs and also into your stomach. So people wake up with a big bloated stomach full of air, and then the air either burps up this way or comes out the other end, which is slightly less socially acceptable. And so, what I'm going to do is explain why this may happen to you if you've got the same problem at home and what you can do about it. So, actually, there are lots of reasons why this may happen. And it may be simply that this thing is just set a little bit too high, and all you need to do is speak to your team about it. And that way, they can help you with the settings and get that right. I see an awful lot of people where the settings don't actually work, and I'll try and explain why that is. There are occasions when you're wearing one of these masks, sometimes a full face mask, sometimes just a nasal mask, and what it's doing is pumping air in. But if your problem is caused by a big tongue that's blocking your breathing, it's very hard for CPAP to prevent or to stop that tongue from blocking your airway. If you imagine you're lying on your back, your tongue is falling back like this air is pumping in, and it needs to, with the force of air alone, has to lift your jaw and your tongue out of the way, like this with air pressure itself, to get behind it. So what tends to happen is when you're sleeping at night, particularly when you're lying on your back, your tongue rolls back, starts blocking your breathing, and then the CPAP goes, "Ooh, there's more pressure." So it piles on more pressure to try and lift the tongue out the way. The tongue is heavy, it's a big muscle and a big jaw attached to it. So it pumps harder and harder and harder, particularly during dream sleep. Because when we're lying on our backs and dreaming, because during dream sleep, we don't want to act out any of these dreams. So all the muscles in our body just sorts of slacks back. And so therefore, if your tongue is a problem, it's blocking your breathing, and then you start dreaming, it falls back even more because all your muscles have relaxed. So during sleeping on your back and dreaming, it becomes even harder for CPAP to move this big bulk of tissue and tongue and jaw, lower jaw out of the way, particularly also if you have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome or one of those hypermobility syndromes, it's more likely to fall back as well. So these people have a really tough time. So the CPAP is trying to push this tongue out the way. And when it eventually does it with enormous amounts of pressure, which can cause leaks into your eye and wake you up anyway, this air that's finally got through and managed to push the tongue out the way, all this air pumps down into your lungs and obviously stops the apnea that you had. But with that sudden gust of wind that goes down, it can go into your stomach and fill up your stomach because it's such a rush of air. The trouble is, once you move the tongue out the way, the CPAP goes, "Oh, hang on. Um, I'm pushing too hard because it's suddenly coming through very easily." And then it dials down its pressure to accommodate for the sudden rush of air going through. The problem with that is that when that happens, the tongue falls back again and the cycle repeats itself. To the point where you end up just waking up and you start burping and you say, "Oh, this is aerophagia. Can we change the settings?" But actually, it's maybe the fact that the CPAP is coming and going in the situation with a tongue-based problem, with or without dreaming as well. So if you see that sort of repeated cycle of the pressure getting more and more and more, and then suddenly it goes through and fills up your stomach, you may be having aerophagia for that reason. Now, sometimes we can say to people, using your CPAP, maybe you shouldn't have, I say CPAP every time, which means continuous pressure. But a lot of people these days have an automatic pressure gauge. And if you want to know more about CPAP, you should look at CPAP reviews. Uncle Nico, who lives in Melbourne in Australia, does a really good channel about CPAP. I don't know much about CPAP compared to everyone else, but I'm more of a surgeon. But you'll be able to understand that sort of thing. But from a very basic point of view, the air goes in and just delivers the right amount of oxygen or air, should I say, to keep your airway open. But sometimes, like in this situation, that may not be the right thing to do. And actually, continuous air that goes in all the time, keeping your tongue out of the way, may be better in some of these situations. It certainly helped some of my patients in the past. In the most part, having a pressure that changes with time helps most people because you don't want to be blasted with air all the time. Giving yourself a little bit of relief when you don't need it so high is very useful. So what can you do about that particular situation with a big tongue falling back and blocking your breathing and CPAP pushing through? Well, if you think to yourself, well, if the tongue is falling back because of gravity, maybe sleeping on your side, particularly sleeping what I would call the recovery position, where you're sleeping almost into the pillow, allowing your tongue to fall forward and so using gravity against your tongue rather than letting gravity dictate how your airway performs, allowing your tongue to roll forward because of gravity often helps a situation. If you wear the CPAP mask like this and sleep on your front, that works really well. What you're doing is removing the problem, the tongue-based problem falling back. So firstly, the CPAP doesn't have to work quite as hard. You don't have to have such high pressures to keep your airway open, but you're also getting rid of the tongue, so you're not pumping so much air into your lungs, and that stop and start sort of boom and bust that's going on with the airflow into your lungs and also pushing into your stomach. So that works very well. There's a minor plug, obviously, for my pillow. If you're trying to sleep with the CPAP mask and you're trying to find a way that you can sleep on your pillow, you can just sleep on a normal pillow off the edge of the pillow like that, and that helps quite a lot. If you're interested, I have a pillow with a big letterbox hole in the middle, and then you sleep in that hole like that. So that's one way to deal with this problem. Sleeping on your side, or better still, sleeping in the recovery position where your face is almost down into the pillow, off the side of the pillow, works really well if you can use this at the same time. Sometimes the nasal masks are a little bit better for that. The problem with nasal masks is that if you have a really big tongue base and you're using a nasal mask, what tends to happen is the air pressure goes in, but because it's desperately trying to get the air down past the tongue and it can't do it, it just follows the path of least resistance and then comes straight out through your mouth. So it starts blowing out this way, and actually the air is not helping you in any way whatsoever. So that's why an awful lot of people with nasal CPAP end up putting a mouth tape across their mouth just to force the air down past their tongue rather than using mouth tape, which scares me a little bit because I'm worried about people vomiting in the middle of the night, or perhaps nasal mask like this and then the CPAP device malfunctioning, or there being a power cut in the middle of the night and then you lost your airway. So all of these things slightly worry me. Although the mouth tape works very well, it may be worth at least trying to sleep in a sort of good position to sleep at night. You could use a woody nose backpack rather than my pillow, and that's really cheap. It's just a big inflatable backpack that forces you to sleep on your side, and that way the nasal CPAP pushes the air down because you've moved the tongue out of the way. It will go down the right direction rather than pumping out through your mouth, and therefore you don't need to use a mouth tape for that. Anyway, I hope you found that useful. I actually have a free book about positional therapy, so I'll have a link in my video description below, so you can get that for free through my newsletter. And I hope you found that useful. Do take care. Bye bye.